Hi, good morning to everyone. I am recording this video to explain you clearly the different ways of participating in Horizon Europe projects. The first type is partners. This is clear. They are the ones signing the grant agreement with the Commission. They are the ones receiving the funding, and they are the ones reporting to the Commission about the activities, results, and costs during the project at different periods, and normally they are the ones retaining the IP. In parallel to partners, we also have the possibility to have associated partners. Associated partners are not funded partners. For example, if they belong to a country which is not eligible for Horizon Europe funding, they can participate, but at their own cost or funded by another institution. They need to sign an agreement with the partners to make sure that they follow certain Horizon Europe regulations. And they can be either linked to a particular partner in the consortium or to the whole consortium, let's say as another partner, but funded differently. Then we also have third parties. Third parties are linked to a particular partner. So we have several partners in the consortium. One of them or several of them may have linked certain third parties. These third parties will sign an agreement with the responsible partner or some sort of formal written document about their participation. For example, if it is a service offer, it doesn't need to be a formal contract, but at least something written that formalizes this contribution. They will normally work or they will work on a specific work package or on a specific task, normally in return of a payment, although there is also the possibility for in-kind contributions, and they will deliver invoices to the responsible partner. They will be which are declarable. They are eligible for funding. The partner can declare these invoices. It's different from in-house personnel, who are people, I mean physical people, not legal entities, who sign a contract with the responsible partner directly linked to the project. Is, for example, Eva Garcia Muntion to work on ELDE, I don't remember the acronym now, ELDE project, but it will be linked, the contract will be linked to the particular project. In-house personnel works under the same conditions as workers under the same professional category belonging to the contracting partner. So if it is a certain category, they will they will have a similar hourly rate or cost rate, and also apply the same policies in relation to traveling costs, vacation, these things, as if they were another worker belonging to the partner. The contract must specify that they work under direct and continuous supervision of the partner as if they were another worker from the partner, and they will issue invoices to the partner, which the partner can declare as eligible costs, and he or she will also have to deliver timesheets as if he or she were another worker of the partner. They don't belong they do belong to the cost category personnel under the budget of the contracting partner. And finally, we have supporters. Supporters, which is not a formal figure, that's why it is between quotation marks. It's not, let's say, a formality, a formal way of participating in Horizon Europe projects. It's just organizations that don't normally sign anything, and there is no paperwork associated to this participation. They normally contribute to activities such as dissemination and communication events, promoting some publications, for example, towards policymakers, bringing relevant stakeholders closer to the projects, maybe students, or facilitating the uptake of certain results, either by taking these results themselves or promoting these results towards others, for example, policymakers. Sometimes they give very punctual advice to the project, and normally in return of this support, they get visibility through the project. Now, digging up within this figure, the third parties, which kind of third parties can participate in a project? First, subcontractors. Subcontractors are participants that work on core but specific activities of the project. They belong to the R&I activities foreseen or planned for the project, but specific ones that are somehow outsourced by the project for a particular reason which needs to be explained. Because there are certain limitations, not really fixed percentages, but there is some caution because they normally work under profit conditions while partners are working at cost-related under cost-related conditions. So it has to be explained why this is needed, why this is better for the project than having this subcontractor participating as a partner. That's why normally they are very specific, and the reason is that it is financially and administratively more wise for a specific activity to be outsourced rather than having this entity participating as partner with all the reporting and so forth. Always need to be declared in the grant agreement one by one, in the sense that each service for each task that is going to be outsourced needs to be specified one by one. Not always you need to specify the name of the provider because you don't always know who the provider exactly is going to be, particularly at proposal stage. But if you set a name, a particular provider, and then you change it, you will have to amend the grant agreement. It is compulsory to assure that this subcontracting brings best value for money for the project. For example, through the selection process, you need to consider 3 potential offers or 3 potential service providers, or explain why you cannot get 3 if it is the only possible provider in the world, or it is a provider with whom you have worked a lot in the past and brings some added value that assures best value for money. You need to explain the selection process. Do not add overheads to the project's budget, and subcontracting amongst partners is not allowed. Then there is another category, which is other goods and services. This is when you contract complementary activities for the project, not core R&I activities. For example, organizing events, editing, dissemination and communication materials, or creating the project's website. For IP management, if you contract an agent to register a patent. For receiving legal advice, maybe, for example, in relation to copyrights related to songs or to written contributions to the linguistic corpora, things like this, and also open access publications. They are expected to cost limited amounts to the project because they are participating in complementary activities, not core activities of the project. Their management is more flexible. You don't need to specify each of the services one by one in the grant agreement. And if you make changes during the duration of the project, normally you don't need to run a contract amendment. You just declare the changes in the periodic reports, depending on how big the deviation is. You also need to assure that they offer best value for money. For example, requesting 3 offers and choosing the one that obviously offers best value for money. And they do add overheads to the project's budget. Another type of third parties is what is called affiliated parties, which were called linked third parties in the past. They are parties with a legal or capital link with the partner, with the contracting partner. Either they have the same management structure somehow, or the same owners, like, for example, an affiliated company from a holding or something like that, or institutes, research institutes belonging to the core institution, things like this, or they have a capital link. They share ownership. They will work under the same financial conditions as the linked party. They do report costs as if they were a partner, activities and results. They do prepare cost financial statements they are de facto beneficiaries. They don't sign directly the grant agreement, but they behave as normal beneficiaries. Normally, for specific activities of the project, which have to be specified, this affiliated party will work in task XX. Always need to be described in the grant agreement, one by one, with names. And they do, I'm pretty sure that they do add overheads to the project's budget. And then finally, we have third parties providing in-kind contributions. They do not work in the project. In the project, they provide, for example, access to certain equipment or facility that is required for a specific activity of the project. This is the normal contribution, the most often in-kind contribution. In Horizon Europe, it refers to in-kind contributions free of charge, because if they are not free of charge, they are considered other goods and services. They go to the other category that we saw in the previous slide. Or maybe if it is a person, they will be considered in-house personnel or seconded personnel that we described also in the first slide. Even if they are free of charge, they must be declared as if they were costs incurred by the responsible partner, and they do add overheads to the project's budget. So this is all. I hope it helps you taking the decision on how to engage different type of experts. But if you have any question, just let me know.